Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to take a little bit of a look at a new trademark that's gone and been filed over in Japan for what looks to be the Pokemon trading card game. Now, as always, we don't get a big announcement with this, right? What happens is that a trademark is filed in Japan and people like the lovely Primal Lugia and Matthew Arrive, Immunity on Twitter, and myself, we have a look at this and it seems to be TCG related, okay? That does not, however, say that it is for absolute certain, definitely a new set or anything along those lines. I will say, however, that our hit rate here is pretty gosh darn good. I mean, you know, the most recent set which is being, well, kind of revealed at the moment over in Japan is Ruler of the Black Flame. And of course, back in March, that was registered as a trademark over in Japan in this manner. So, no, I'm not guaranteeing that this is most definitely going to be a new set, but I am saying it looks kind of likely. Although there is a bit of a kicker this time round, because the trademark that's gone and been filed is Battle Academy. Yeah, that's a weird one. And I know enough Japanese now, this literally just says Bataru, which is Battle Academy. Battle Academy. Like, it clearly just says Battle Academy in katakana, hence a slightly weird pronunciation. And what that means is, are we getting a new set called Battle Academy? Because let's face it, we've had Battle Academy. Like, Battle Academy is a Pokemon TCG thing. We have had 2 Battle Academy products in the West. They've both been called Battle Academy, and they've both been, I mean, the way I tend to describe it generally is the Pokemon TCG reimagined as a board game. You get yourself 3 decks. In the original one, you had Charizard being featured, and in the second one, you had Scorbunny being featured. But you get 3 decks that don't hit for weakness, and you play it very much like a board game, in that you pick a deck and you go, but it's just proper Pokemon TCG cards, so you can go and turn that into the Pokemon trading card game proper, if you like. For what it's worth, I've often said that V Battle decks, or as they would now be EX decks, those are what I would generally use. If you're playing the Battle Academy, I think the V Battle decks, the V decks are generally the way to go after that. But the point is, we've had Battle Academy. Does that mean that Japan is going to just be getting this? I don't think so. I can't tell you for one way or t'other, but I would say that's pretty unlikely. And the reason is, our Battle Academy comes from what Japan call the family decks. It's the same thing. So Japan gets their family decks, and you'll notice here that, you know, the front of this looks startlingly like our second Battle Academy, and essentially they get their family decks, which are designed to help people learn to play, etc., and then that gets reimagined into our Battle Academy. So I am not saying that Japan's not going to have our Battle Academy. I can't say that. I have no insider information. What I am saying is, our Battle Academy is literally just the English version of their family decks. It would be incredibly weird for Japan to then basically turn around and just take our Battle Academy, given that they've already got their own version of it with a different name. That makes no sense. So if we imagine that this is going to be like a Pokemon TCG set, I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen. It's Scarlet and Violet. You've got the academies. That's kind of the point. It is a Pokemon game set in a school. Depending on which version you go for, you've got Naranja Academy and Uva Academy, basically orange and grape. And then you go through and that's the game. The whole point is that it's set in these schools, or academies as they're actually called. And, I mean, which do you guys think's more likely? Do you think it's more likely that we're going to be getting a Japanese version of an English set, which is itself a version of an existing Japanese thing, or a new set themed after the whole school thing? I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen. I think there is an easier answer here. But then that does introduce a whole bunch of questions as to what exactly it's going to entail. Now, I'm going to say it's getting kind of awkward, right? Because when Raging Surf was initially revealed, we started looking at all kinds of surf-related things. I suggested that Goldengo could be a very good option here in terms of what this set might be based around. Oh, no, turned out it was Water-type Terra Garchomp. How were we supposed to get... How can we possibly have predicted that Raging Surf would be a set based around Water-type Terra Garchomp? I'm just going to go ahead and suggest that no, it was probably not going to be. Just putting that out there. So if this is a set called Battle Academy, we're then left with the issue of, well, alright then, what is it actually themed around? Because on the one hand, we could look at this and go, oh, it's the teachers. Like, that would make sense. If we had a set themed around the teachers, that would make perfect sense. And it would. But a lot of the teachers have already kind of been used. Like, we've already had a Miriam card. That was like the card in Scarlet and Violet. But certainly, you know, Miriam's already been featured. Of course, you know, one of the main characters from the Academy. And the teachers are basically the same regardless of which version you're actually playing. We've already had Saguaro, your home economic teacher. So that's already a thing. Came around in Paldea Evolved. And again, had an amazing just special illustration rare. And you've got Jiggles there being all adorable. It's a very cool card, all right? But again, it's one we've already seen. Dendra. We also had in Paldea Evolved. It was one of the main cards really from Triple Beat over in Japan. But again, we had a special illustration rare of Dendra. Dendra, of course, being your battle teacher. Massive shout out to Joe from Cerebi.net for making this so easy. And there are a bunch of other teachers that we haven't seen so far. There are some other teachers that could be featured. So maybe we're going to be that. I mean, it's not happening. We have no reason to believe that it's actually happening. I want to say that before I get going here. But imagine if we could have Ona's Pokemon back. All of those SP Pokemon coming back. So, like in the same way, you know, if we go to Celebrations, for instance, because Celebrations was a set that kind of showed us some of the some of the real, what's the word I'm looking for here, headline Pokemon. You know, SP was one of the times we really got Ona's Pokemon as a real mechanic, as a real thing coming along. And, you know, if we go back to Celebrations, like I say, we've got your Luxray, we got your Garchomp. Okay, fine, they're the only two they re-gave us. But still, they were very, very awesome. I mean, sticking in Celebrations, we could go back years and get Rocket Zapdos, which I know wasn't really an owner's Pokemon like that, but I'm calling it. And, you know, Luxray was Volkner, Luxray GL, Gym Leader, and then Garchomp was Cynthia, Garchomp C, Champion. So maybe we could have that again. And I'm wish casting here. I want to be perfectly clear. This is wish casting on my part. I would love for this to actually be a thing, but I think it's safe to say it's probably not going to be. And let's not forget, we do have the DLC coming in the not too distant future for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So it could well be, you know, we've got the Teal Mask and the Indigo Disc coming as DLC. So maybe it could be something based around that. I wish I could give you more answers here. But the fact of the matter is, I can't. I think by far the most likely eventuality here is that this is the name of a new set, and that it is going to be featured around the school or the teachers in some way. And I would love to see Ona's Pokemon coming back, but I think that might be just me getting a little bit excitable. Remember, as it stands at the moment, we got Ruler of the Black Flame, Scarlet and Violet 3 coming on July the 28th. We've then got Raging Surf, Scarlet and Violet 3A coming on the 22nd of September. And then we've got other sets which are a bit further out, and we've got kind of predictions rather than real concrete information. But we got Flash of the Future Ancient Roar, which we assume is going to be Scarlet and Violet 4 coming in October. Shiny Treasure, Scarlet and Violet 4A coming in December. And Wild Force and Cyber Judge, Scarlet and Violet 5 coming in January. We've seen trademarks from them which suggests that they're coming, but that's not actually official. I should also say that Raging Surf on September the 22nd has not been officially announced. We've seen products being listed, so we're pretty confident about that one, but that one is subject to change until we get an official announcement. So there we go. There is a new trademark which is coming. I'm assuming it's going to be a new set, although we don't have that information yet. So now I suppose it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me how excited you are. Tell me your predictions in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And of course, get shout outs on the channel like the lovely Eric Ridgway, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for both the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.